Right, apologies everyone for the delayed start. I hope you can all hear me. We've had a few problems with the videos on this presentation, so they will be available after the presentation. Lewis will send those out, and apologies, we've not been able to sort it, I don't think, for this presentation, so we'll just work around it. My name's Michelle Roberts and I'm the director of Arena. I've also been involved in writing a series of books published by Bloomsbury called The National Curriculum Outdoors, which I'm going to talk about through this presentation. So, the overview for the presentation is: what is outdoor learning and why do we do it? How could it form part of the recovery curriculum? Planning with outdoor learning, so starting with what you have, and hopefully we can give you some ideas and resources that can be adapted to your own setting. Before we start the presentation, I just wanted you to close your eyes and think back to an early childhood memory. Okay, was that memory indoors or outdoors? What made it memorable and why do you think that is? And if I could see you all, which obviously I can't, I am hoping that many of you will have that childhood memory as being outdoors. And the reason for this is that outdoor experiences are often more memorable when we're making links with the world around us, giving us sense and feeling and beliefs, and what we see, hear, taste, touch and smell do give us 6 main pathways to learning, and the potential for learning is maximised if we use the powerful combination of physical, visual and naturalistic ways of learning. And learning outdoors often gives us multi-sensory experience. It includes the risks of challenge and real-world experiences, as well as providing experiential learning. So it may be a combination of all those things as to why that childhood memory is linked to the outdoors. So what is outdoor learning? We've said it's about helping us to make sense of the world by generating physical and emotional links to learning memories. And we believe that any subject for all ages can be delivered in the outdoors, and the books we've written cover currently Key Stage 1 through to Year 6, and it's about reinforcing and making connections to learning and making it memorable. Many of you may have come across forest schools. Some of you will have forest schools being delivered in your schools. Forest schools can be led by a qualified forest schools leader, and it's a child-led approach to learning, focusing on the whole child and developing that resilience and capability and confidence. The main difference between forest schools and outdoor learning is we try and ensure that outdoor learning is teacher-led and objective-led. So it's about making sure that what you're doing in the outdoors links to the curriculum and making use of the wider environment. Both opportunities provide great ways of learning within outdoors, but what we're increasingly finding is that there's a need to get the actual national curriculum outdoors. And while forest schools does do this in some respects, it doesn't always lend itself to a whole school approach to outdoor learning. Increasingly, we're seeing that children at Key Stage 2 want the opportunity to discover and learn about experiences outdoors. And a recent study in schools showed that introducing regular outdoor learning for 9 to 11-year-olds found there were really great benefits in improvement in engagement, motivation and behaviour. And when we first started delivering outdoor learning and delivering Wild Tribe, we found many of our schools, it was very much done in the early years, but once the children came out of Key Stage 1, they didn't do it anymore, but we're finding increasingly now that schools are adopting it right the way through, from EYFS through to the end of Key Stage 2, and we've even got schools at Key Stage 3 who are also delivering outdoor learning, which then gives that holistic whole school approach to outdoor learning, and every child has the opportunity to get involved. It's also really key, we've found, in raising attainment through, you can do this through outdoor learning, and you can see a pathway there that really initially we're starting with engagement, then we're getting through that, we're getting the enjoyment as well. Children will learn social skills and self-regulated behaviour, very great for behaviour management and getting that children to understand their own behaviour and how it affects others, and also building that emotionally resilience. We often talk when we're doing outdoor learning about the fact that many of our children are microwave children, in that they want something done within 10 seconds, and if they press a button and it doesn't happen within 10 seconds, they give up. So really, outdoor learning is a really great way of building that emotional resilience and that persistence and that confidence. And then they start to experience success. That improves their well-being and confidence, and we then find that can raise attainment. So all of those areas can happen through outdoor learning. The future is green. Many of you will know that there was new statutory guidance published in September around health education, and part of that health education comes under the new RSE guidance. The new RSE guidance is linked to relationships education, and many schools are now starting to realise that it's not just about the relationships education, there is a health education part of that guidance, and under that guidance comes mental well-being, and specifically linked to the outdoors, it is talking about children having time in the outdoors and also looking at their mental well-being and it's making sure they're happy, healthy and confident. And we really need to ensure that more of our children are getting outdoors. Many of you will know post-COVID that children did not spend very much time outdoors during that period, and I would encourage you as much as possible to try and get our children outdoors more, particularly now as they've returned to school. So it's increasingly recognised that the virus cannot exist for long in the outdoors. Outdoor environments typically have better air quality than indoor spaces. You've obviously got the environmental conditions, and also we know that you're already working well in your school. Many primary schools have done a fantastic job in getting children back into school and operating safely. And it's now, if you're not using the outdoors, or you are, could you extend it and use it more? What we were really keen to do through the National Curriculum Outdoors publications of the books is to ensure that the curriculum is just not about taking activities outside. So it's very easy for teachers to look outside the window and on a sunny day say, well, let's just go and take our maths books outside, or let's go and take our English books outside. What we're trying to do is build up that curriculum progression. So it's a progression of activities through the outdoors. And myself and the two other authors of these books were involved in a natural connections demonstration project, which involved over 125 schools across the southwest. And through this project, which involved Plymouth University, DEFRA and Natural England, we found that one of the major barriers to getting outside was that teachers lacked confidence in how they could ensure that what they were doing outside actually linked to outdoor activities and then to curriculum objectives. So how do we get started? So what we're saying to you is start with what you have. Start with some simple activities and then build on them. So you might start for example, by taking some poetry outside. So you might be confident in teaching poetry, so why not take some poetry outside? Listening activities, storytelling trains, using the natural resources to inspire poetry. Also, when you're storytelling, can you set up a storytelling location? So, for example, one of the ideas in one of the books is we look at Key Stage 2. We're looking at setting up a story location. So we talk about the Beast of Bodmin Moor, and we actually set up a scene where the beast has visited the school. So we've got police tape everywhere, red paint everywhere. We talk to the children about the Beast of Bodmin Moor. They already know the story, and then we set the scene where the beast has visited their school. And then from then we start to build storytelling games and activities to encourage the children to actually relive that story for themselves. So it's about taking some of that settings and characters outside for the children to engage in. In maths, we use natural resources to explore angles and shapes, and we can gather data, and then we can build dens and fires and backlink it to the curriculum. So for example, if you're looking at 2D shapes, you could start by saying, what 2D shapes can we see in the natural environment? How can we then put those, we can use sticks, we can create our own shapes using sticks in 2D, and then we can create shapes with sticks using 3D shapes. That then lends itself to building dens and making fires. So when we're talking about how do we link what we're doing to the national curriculum, we talk very much about trying to backlink it. So when you're starting to think about what could you do, think of all the exciting things that you want to do in the outdoors and then backlink it to the curriculum, and you'll find that that is a lot easier to do than the other way round. So you can see there some children doing some problem solving. And they've got some sticks. So we started off by saying, right, you've got some sticks. Can you create a three-sided shape using the sticks? Can you then put a line of symmetry into the shape? Can you then look at tessellating the shape? Could you then work out what the perimeter of that shape was? Can you look at the internal angles around that shape? So just a very simple activity going outside, but you're actually using talk for maths. You're getting that vocabulary in, and that can be done from EYFS right through to year 6 around actually using sticks to show how you can do geometry and shape in the natural environment. Now this is the video that is not working, but it will be on your link. So I'm going to just very briefly, this video looks at maths in the outdoors. Debbie, one of the authors, has developed most of the maths chapters within the National Curriculum Outdoors books. And what she talks about is looking, using sticks and tubular webbing tape as well. And basically, very much you can do number through maths and you can use geometry through maths. She then also links it to art. So if we're talking about some of those shapes we were making with sticks using tessellation, she then goes on to look at how you can use that tessellation idea to make dream catchers and artwork as well. So there's lots of cross-curricular links there, and I would encourage you when you got the opportunity to watch the video. It's only about 4 minutes, 5 minutes long, but it will give you that insight into how you can really get maths outdoors and engaging your children. Okay, apologies, it just seems to be getting stuck on this slide, so I'm just trying to move it on to the next slide. Don't know why it's suddenly just disappeared there. Apologies.
Is it worth going out and coming back in again? Sorry guys, Michelle's just logged out again. She'll log back in and hopefully the presentation will be able to restart. If you've got any questions, just pop them in the chat box and we'll get to them and answer them at the end of the workshop. That'd be great. Michelle, it's up now.
Thank you. Okay, so this is the Raccoon circles, which Debbie also uses in her presentations in the chapters. So this is called tubular webbing tape, and it's part of the program that she has developed called Taking Maths Outdoors. Basically, it's very stretchy tape, which is used in climbing, known as tubular webbing tape, and lots of the activities for interactive starters, for plenaries, for engaging children through maths is also done using this tubular webbing tape. And you can see there that they have created a rectangle there using the tubular webbing tape. They're looking again at perimeter and internal angles. So that's another resource that can be used to take maths outdoors. This is taking music outdoors. Unfortunately, the video is not working correctly at the moment, but what we have done with Arena is we have developed a Arena PE and Outdoor Learning at Home YouTube channel, and this video is part of our Arena YouTube channel. The activities in this particular video we're looking at taking music outdoors, and what we've done here is we've encouraged children to look at how you can develop your own sound quiz, how you can use a sound postcard, so encouraging children to actually stop and listen for about 1 minute and record all the sounds that they can hear. It then looks at how you can make natural musical instruments, and very simple, quick activities that could be done at home. But if you were to watch that video, you would see how you could also use some of those activities in school. And there's about 40 videos now on our Arena PE and Outdoor Learning at Home for just wild tribes, so just for outdoor learning from EYFS through to year 6. So again, do visit the Arena YouTube channel. There is a link at the end of this presentation just to give you some ideas for quick things that you can do outside with your children that you could then build on if you wanted to look at a progression of learning. And as I said, the link will be in the presentation when the presentation goes live. Okay, now some of the activities that are shown in that short video clip can also be used in English. So again, getting the children onto a magic spot as a reflective time, develop a sound postcard. With that sound postcard, you could then look at developing haiku poems. So I had a group of children and we went down near a river actually, but it doesn't have to be off-site, it could be on your school site. They were asked to sit down and reflect for 1 minute on the sounds that they could hear, and then to look at the words and pictures, and particularly looking at the words, how many syllables did those words have? And then they could look at developing a haiku poem. And some of you will know a haiku poem has 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second, and 5 in the last. And that poetry is great for doing outdoors because you can actually achieve a composition of a poem and a performance of a poem all in one session. And what we then did is we looked at some natural materials. We made our own musical instruments using the natural materials to get a beat going to our poem, and then we performed some of the haiku poems as a whole class, and we also performed some of them individually. So it was a great way for looking at performing, looking at talk for language, talk for writing, and a really good one to do outside, particularly now as well with autumn, lots of changes happening through the seasons, so a really good one to do. Okay, so what have Ofsted said about outdoor learning? Now, when we first set up the Wild Tribe Outdoor Learning Programme, Ofsted were a bit more reluctant to come outside and see what we are doing. However, in the last couple of years, they've been a lot more proactive. They have come outside, and you can see there what they reported about outdoor learning and Wild Tribe at Holsworthy Primary School, which was great to see because they were actually picking out the fact they were teachers managing the risks well was a real key part to developing self-confidence and self-esteem, and also that SMSC part of the curriculum. But importantly, not in this particular quote, but they also made reference in that report to the fact that curriculum, national curriculum, was being delivered outdoors as well. So if you're thinking about engaging on an outdoor learning programme in your school, or you already have got some outdoor learning going on in your school, we would encourage you to think about what is your intent for outdoor learning. Just make it really clear. So it could simply be to engage more pupils in outdoor learning and to improve their emotional health and well-being. How are you going to implement that? So what you would need to do is to train staff and access some units of work. You might need to improve your site, and you may need to think about backlinking the activities to the curriculum. And then if we talk about impact, it may be that before you start on any particular project, you do some pupil conferencing. Ask the pupils what they think. What are they most looking forward to about being outside? Or if you are already doing outdoor learning, what more do they want to do outside? So that pupil conferencing and talking to your teachers and staff is really important, and it will provide you with that baseline information. And there is, at the end of this presentation, I will share with you something Plymouth University have developed in a way of an impact and evidence tool. So if you're thinking now about outdoor learning and you're reviewing what you're doing at your school, it's key to think about who already does outdoor learning in your setting. Is someone already in that role? What outdoor learning strategies and systems are already working well? And you will have systems in place that have already got a whole school approach. Can some of those be adapted to looking at outdoor learning? How confident do you feel about taking outdoor learning approach, and what support do you feel you need? What support is available to help you to implement outdoor learning across your school? So consider where you are. What have you got on your school site? Some of you will have more natural resources than others. Are there areas that lend themselves to outdoor learning? How many members of staff have you got trained? Who needs further learning? Is there training, sorry. Is there anyone who could take the lead for outdoor learning? How do you plan for outdoor learning to ensure there's a progression of skills? Do you have a provision map? Do you use the learning outcomes and systems for assessment to provide an informed approach to outdoor learning? How could it raise attainment in your school? These are the books we've developed. They were published in at the end of June. There's 5 of them, as you can see. We have got a special discount code for you if you've not purchased them yet, that you can use until the end of December, which I'll share with you at the moment. We've had a lot of positive response from the books. We've had really good reviews. Juliet Robertson, who wrote the book Dirty Teaching, has given us a positive review along with a forward for the book, and also many other lead practitioners have commented on them. So we're really pleased that we are getting a really good response. I think we've sold over 9,000 to 10,000 books, and I'm not sat here becoming a multi-millionaire by any means. They have been published by Bloomsbury, who is the publisher for J.K. Rowling, but unfortunately we're not on her commission. So I think between us, we've had about £80 each at the moment. So if you're thinking about publishing a book, you're not necessarily going to make $1 million. So just to share that with you. But we are really pleased that it's out there and teachers are engaging with the books. And as a direct response to the National Demonstrations Project, we have got a website there, and we've also developed Wild Tribe Outdoor Training to build children's confidence. And you've got a website link there for our books, which is the National Curriculum Outdoors. There is a launch video that you can watch at the end of this presentation. I'll give you a link should you want to watch that. It's on the YouTube channel. The National Curriculum Outdoors is a series of books, Key Stage 1 through to Year 6, to support teachers and show that progression. So we've got clear objectives in the books with clear resources that you need, and you will find examples in these books in all the curriculum subjects. And at Key Stage 2, we've even shown you how to take French outdoors. So it is a comprehensive scheme of work that you can use in your schools should you wish to do so. There's just a copy of the books there. You can see some of the artwork coming through there. And there is a link that I can send you, which is part of this presentation if you want to have a look inside the book. There's a link there that you'll get when you get this presentation. And for this conference, we've got a 25% discount. It does say 30 up there, but that was not for this particular conference. We've got a 25% discount on offer there. You go to bloomsbury.com and it's valid until the end of December should you wish to purchase them. And this is just an idea now how you can look at planning for progression in outdoor learning. You can see there at Key Stage 1, we were talking about senses and how you use poetry through the senses. And then in Year 3, you've got developing a sense of place. So building on those senses, developing a sense of place through some of that poetry that I spoke about earlier. And then over in Year 5, you've then got how you're developing a sense of place and developing soundscapes. So you can see there how through Year 3, Year 4, Year 6, we've got storytelling there, but you can see the progression going through, and you can download this progression map from the Bloomsbury website, and it gives you a clear guide as to what is in each books and how the progression is shown. Arena has got some training available. If you are interested in doing any training, please do visit our website. We've got lots of courses there. We do a 2-day award for teaching assistants and teachers, and then we've got a 4-day award starting in January, which is a subject leader award. So you've got anyone who's leading outdoor learning and they want to advance their skills further. And we can also offer whole day and half day trainings within your school. We do Wild Tribe delivery within schools as well. So do have a look at our website, and we also have a programme through Leadership and also Wild Tribe Explorers, and you can see the website there for further information. We do offer training specifically on the books, so you can see there that you can get training with Debbie or myself on the books, so just contact Julie there for further information on that. Taking Maths Outdoors is a separate programme that you can have support in, and that's using that tubular webbing tape and some of the resources around that. And they've also got a send version as well to help you support taking Maths Outdoors. So that's another resource that is available. You can see there the review, one of the reviews given to us by Juliet Robertson on those books. And just a few websites there and information about the YouTube channel that I spoke about. So huge resource there on the YouTube channel with lots of free resources. We've also got some schemes of work that you can download for free on the Arena Wild Tribe website. Got the Taking Maths Outdoors website, and then you'll see down here on the last bottom of this last slide, there's a practical and easy toolkit for mapping and measuring healthy outcomes of outdoor learning, which you can get available from Plymouth University using that link, and that should be able to provide you with some baseline evidence if you want to try and look at measuring the impact of outdoor learning. And over to some questions from yourselves now. So don't know whether, Julie, are you able to help with this? Whether we can...
Yeah, there's no current questions in the chat box. I have uploaded the Arena links and the YouTube channels in there so people can click directly on them if they need them.
Okay. Some of the questions I often get asked are around evidence and impact, and I think that the tool that Plymouth University have offered there is a useful tool, so please do use that. Lots of schools will also use iPads to record work that's being done outdoors, so you can record it by video or you can take photographs. And measuring the impact being done through consultation, but also we would encourage you, if you are taking the national curriculum outdoors, then it's very much around the same way that you would be measuring how you do progress in maths. You need to try and apply to the outdoors, so that same assessment tool really is applied. There is an assessment chapter in the books that Sue has written around some of the assessment methods that you could use, so there's some useful information there. You can use the PE and School Sport Fund to fund outdoor learning, so all of you will have some funding through the PE and School Sport Fund for 2020-2021. And also Tesco's Bags for Help are particularly at the moment focusing on outdoor learning and outdoor projects for young people. So if you do want to have a look at that, unfortunately it's not the tokens in the stores anymore because obviously of COVID they're not using that. But if you go onto the Tesco's website and go to Tesco's grants, there is Groundworks are managing the programme. And you could you just write a little, I think it's 300 words you need to write about your project, and you can access about £1,000 to help you get started with your outdoor learning. So there are a few other funds that are available for outdoor learning, but unfortunately due to COVID those have been suspended at the moment. So has anyone else got any questions? No, nothing coming through the chat. So there's my contact details if you do want to have a quick chat around outdoor learning on your school site.
Is it worth mentioning the first aid Wild Tribe outdoor?
Yeah, so we are doing Wild Tribe through first aid at the moment as well, and there's information on our website around that course, and that it forms part of the RSE curriculum, so it would answer the objectives of the RSE curriculum if that was something that you wanted to implement into your school. So the information about the Wild Tribe First Aid is on our website. Julie, would you mind just putting that link there onto the chat, because that will take them to the launch video if they want to see some more about the books?
Yeah, will do.
Thank you. Okay, so hopefully that has been useful. I apologise for the technical hitches in the presentation. I love being outdoors. Talking to people on a screen is not necessarily my passion or something I'm particularly good at. So I do apologise for the technical hitches, but I hope that you have found some of the information useful in that presentation.